Joining us right now is William Moore, who's a Reform Party candidate for the City Council District number 18. Nice to have you with us, Mr.
Thank you
Moore.
for having me. I just want to say one thing. William Russell Moore, that's how it's listed on the ballot.
All right, then let's make sure that the voters know exactly. It's William Russell Moore.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to call you Mr. Moore. I think that covers us. Talk in general, if you would, about your platform and your candidacy. You ran in the primary.
Yes.
You weren't. You didn't win, but you decided to keep on. Why did you decide to?
Well, because the voters want a serious candidate. They need leadership, and so I'm running on the Reform Party line because there's a lot of things that's wrong with the Bronx Democratic Party itself. So there's some issues that I would like to bring forth. I have an 8-point platform. And I want to tackle issues from housing, from crime, to the general run-of-the-mill type of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Let's start with one of those issues. I haven't seen that list, but let's talk about jobs and job development. We have had a drop in unemployment. I think that we're all proud of. We like to see that. Mm-hmm. Talk to me about the kinds of empowerment we need.
Well, the median income floats about $34,000, right, in my district, and that's not enough to raise a family of one, much less a family of four. So what I propose is that I want to strengthen the overall income levels of the district and raise the salary or the hourly wage from it's about today $10 right now to about $30 an hour, and basically
$30 an hour.
Yeah, $30 because I believe that the only living wage is a union wage, and the union wage pays around about $30 an hour. And roughly about $60,000 a year. So from $34,000, which is the median income, to about $60,000 a year is what should be the type of robust salary that someone in my district should make because of gentrification. Because when gentrification sets in, a lot of folks are going to be shown the door like they are being done right now.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about transportation infrastructure. We all know that there's issues between the mayor and governor as regards funding for mass transit. What kinds of infrastructure do we need to improve transportation in that district?
Well, in my district alone, we live in a whole a big disparity where the people find it very hard to get from point A to point B. One of the things that I propose, because I used to be a chief of staff for Warner Clark in Brooklyn, is the dollar van service. I would like to implement the dollar van service. It may be $2 now, but it's something that's going to be able to commute the ridership from one point to the next point much faster than what's happening right now, because relying on a city bus is very slow. It's time consuming. Mm-hmm. Even with the select buses, it gets overcrowded. We need something more sound and more speedier to deliver that type of service to the residents. And I think a dollar van service would be much better for my district.
When you say dollar van, that's nice and enticing, and you acknowledge that's in quotes because it might not be exactly a dollar. How would that work? Does it go? You establish different routes. In other words, an independent bus service.
For example, from where I'm at, like in Shore Haven, right? That's a desert right there. I mean, it's what they call the boondocks. Residents have to get up early in the morning, 5 a.m. in the morning to wait for the bus to even start up. And that itself is kind of poor, right? And many times, you want to get to work early. You can't because you're waiting for the bus to even start and to travel. But with the dollar van service, because it's based on the economy of scales, right, and the driver's ambition to want to provide that type of service, they'll be out there ready and willing to provide that service to residents to get them from Shore Haven to the train station to the number 6 line, the Park District line, in a matter of minutes. And that's the kind of service we need. We need something speedier than what we have right now.
Let's talk about housing. Everybody knows that affordable housing, and you had it at the top of your plan, that affordable housing is one of the main issues in the borough of the Bronx and actually the city of New York right now. How do we build more affordable housing?
Well, we do this by forcing NYCHA, right? NYCHA is an authority. An authority has the power, the wherewithal to float bonds to the investors. If we force NYCHA to do that, then the NYCHA authority can then start building the houses that need the affordable housing. I mean, if we rely on, say, private developers, like my opponent, Ruben Diaz Sr., he believes in more expensive luxury development. We don't need that. We need something that's sensible, that's affordable to the residents, and that's going to have sustainability. And again, NYCHA has the power to do so, to build the houses, float the bonds, like any other authority, like the Port Authority, when they're building bridges and tunnels and stuff like that. We need to do that. We need to put out that kind of program, and we'll have a bigger return.
There's a big irony in the borough of the Bronx. We have maybe some of the world's best medical and healthcare institutions, whether it be Montefiore Medical Center or Jacobi Hospital. I mean, we could list all the wonderful health facilities we have. And yet, we are number 62 in the state as far as healthcare. How do we improve people's access to healthcare and their ability to do better health-wise?
We have to strengthen our local politics, right? We have to strengthen our resolve with the local politics. We also got to, fight the plan by the new president to kill the Obamacare. We can't kill the Obamacare. We need to save that because it's the cost savings to the end users is phenomenal. But we need to strengthen that and strengthen our local politics, and we'll have that strong.
Talk to me a little bit about education. Schools are doing better, certainly in terms of the graduation rate, something the mayor was very proud of. How do you view the education system? And for example, do we need to increase the charter school limit so that we have more charter schools?
Well, my opponent believes in increasing the charter schools facilities and throughout the cities. I'm not really for the over extension of charter schools. I believe that by doing so, you're killing the public schools, and by killing the public schools, you're also killing. In my opinion, it's union busting. You're really going after the U of T in a slick way, okay? To get rid of the contracts that teachers have for a number of years, including the tenureship. We don't need that. We need to have something that's very balanced, and we need to give the parents the choice to decide what's best for their kids. We can't, as elected officials, make that decision for them.
Mr. Moore, if you would just give us a summary of your platform and make a short presentation to the voters about why they should look at William Russell Moore and the Reform Party, that'd be great.
Yeah. One of the things, like I want to, it's a good topic. My opponent, right? He supports Donald Trump, right here. He wrote a nice love letter to my opponent, to Donald Trump, saying that he wanted to break bread and walk hand in hand down the streets of the Bronx. We don't need that type of leadership. We know that Donald Trump, a lot of the congressional folks, people in politics, are saying that Donald Trump is unfit to even serve for president. But yet, my opponent, Ruben Diaz Sr., like you said right here, love letter to Donald Trump. We don't need that. My policies that I would like to put in place, okay?
About 20 seconds.
20 seconds, yeah. Is that I want to create a multicultural center in my district. We don't have nothing like that in our community. That's going to tap into the off-Broadway and on-Broadway performances and bring world-class acts to the district. We have about 80 different ethnic groups in my district. They have a cultural expression. They have something they want to showcase. We need to have our district to have an economic engine. And with that economic engine, we can create jobs and other opportunities for our districts to enjoy.
William Russell Moore, Reform Party candidate.
Yes.
We really appreciate you
Please vote
joining
for
us
me,
today.
November 7th. William Russell Moore, Reform Party.
We thank you for joining us,
Thank
and
you.
we will be back on In the District with more. Don't go away.